Hello, everybody. Good evening. So my name is Mohammad Ad, and today we're gonna talk about games. Okay, not just games. We all play games, right? How to build a game. I always wondered how a game works. From my childhood, I wondered how a game works, how that player moves when I'm giving this input, how the NPC know that I'm here. In this session, I'll be giving you a brief and let's go. What is game development? Why game development? How can we build a game? Main question that I'll be explaining and I'll be answering. First question, what is game development? The comprehensive process of designing, creating, and releasing video games blending art, technology, and storytelling to turn an initial concept into a playable experience involving roles from programming and art to sound design, narrative, and quality reassurance. This is a like for game development. It includes programming. Okay, of course, programming is the base of a game development, like writing the code for game logic, mechanics, and systems. The main languages that are used in game development: C++, C has GDScript. So if you ask me, these are the only language that use in game development? No. The answer is no. Every language can be used for game development. There are Py games. We use Python, and we can build games by HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I'm just telling you, we can use any language. Now, programming. So anyone of you can identify who is this? This is a famous character from Watch Dogs. Next thing is art and anime. Creating 2D, 3D models, textures, characters, and visual effects. We use Blender and Photoshop. Think about game development. We can use Blender is for creating 2D and 3D models, and for designing, we use Photoshop, of course. Like game development in all the platforms. You crafting gameplay, level designing, user experience, and game mechanics. Now, as you can see, this is a scene from pre-production Uncharted 4, a famous game. Here, the characters, the NPCs are just like a mannequin of a red color, basic shapes and all. I say in between production and pre-production. In pre-production state, it won't look like this. It will be very basic. There will be no structures. There will be no textures. Only the developed vision bring into the life. What I'm saying is when we build games, we use basic structures to lay out the design. See here, like NPC has mannequin and basic structures. Like that, we use very basic structure. Just the developer wants to know what is happening, what do we want. If someone else saw this and he'll say, what is this? So it's in the process. So in the process, it will be very basic. Yeah, this is the pre-production stage, and there's a production state, and this is a 3D model. This software is Blender, by the way. Here you can see the developer is trying to create the character, and yeah, next, audio, sound effect. Think about game development. It includes almost everything, I say. This is Alicia, won the Game Award for the best music. Expedition 33, story, dialogue, and world building. Okay, one of my favorite games, GTA, Grand Theft Auto. If you haven't played this game, please just play it. 2013 game. Still, people are playing this. Yeah, we're all waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, let's hope it will release on 2026. Man, Red Dead Redemption 2. Another beautifully crafted game. Beautiful story, beautiful dialogue, world building, everything. It's treated as one of the best games out there. And both these games are developed by Rockstar Studio. Now, moving on. Project management. Now, organizing the team and production pipeline. Such as there are games built by single person, but mostly games are built by group, by a team, like a family. This is San Andreas. I think most of you know this game. Yeah, whole point is you gotta have a great team for building a game. Quality assurance takes very crucial role in game development, like testing and debugging. Imagine you create a game. You have put so much effort and money into that game, but the players didn't find it interesting or engaging, and then there's no use. No matter how much detailing is the game, or how much creative or serious game. There's a game called Getting Over. It's a very famous game. So imagine you are the developer of this game, and you are telling your friend this idea. A man is stuck inside a pot, and he have a hammer, and the main thing is to go forward using that hammer. Sounds some like your friend will, what, bro? This is the stupidest idea that I ever heard. But this game has generated over $15.8 million US dollars. And this was a very famous games that are played by YouTubers and everything. So the thing is, my point is, the in game developing industry, you don't know you don't know what the players want. The players don't want like to play game with a very high detailing, or a battle royale game. Maybe they just want a man stuck inside a pot and try to move forward using a hammer. You don't know that. So that's the industry is very versatile, very like different from other industries. Crazy to say, there is now a coconut simulator in Steam, and it's just you can play as a coconut, literally a coconut. You can't do anything else. You're a coconut. So what coconuts do? Nothing. Yeah, that's the game, and it's somewhat success now. That's the thing. Now, the development process, planning, pre-production, as I said, production, and testing, launch, and post-production. I'll talk about the development process on upcoming sessions. Now, I'm not going to talk about it much more. These are the basic steps: planning and pre-production, such as the concept, game design, and prototyping of production, building the game, asset creation, coding, and testing. Yeah, I mean, there'll be like people who are just love to play games, right? The testing field is for them. They just have to test if the game is engaging or not, or it is interesting, and also the bug fixing. If they find any bug, that's all. Now, launching and post production, release and ongoing updates and support. After the release, you have to constantly give updates and support also. And nowadays games are giving DLC. DLC means is a downloadable content that includes more levels or more skins or such things, or add another layer of story. And yeah, that's post production and launch. I'll explain all this in very detail in an upcoming sessions. Now you guys have a rough idea about what is game development. Here's a question for you: who do you think built the first ever game? It's not a game developer, of course, because it built on 19. At that time, there is no such thing as game developer. The programmers, but it's not built by programmers. The first ever game built by a physicist. Yeah, an American physicist built first ever game. I can just show you that now. This is a video about the first game. It's called Tennis for Two, I think. Yeah, this is how you play it. He built this game like, in his free time, and he didn't think it will get this popular or not. Like, later this game was patented by some people, and later it becomes a very successful game. And this was the first ever game, and it is built by I have just, yeah, let me show you. Yeah, tennis for two. Wikipedia. Here you can see this was the first. I don't know how he does it. It's more like it has nothing to do with uh, programming or anything like that. And this guy, William Higginbottom. This is the one who developed first game. Was an American physicist. Okay, now let's move on. Now, next question. Why game dev? Money. Yeah, you heard me right. Money. The video game industry net worth is enormous and growing, valued around 200 to 300 billion annually in recent years, with projections reaching 500 to 600 billion by 2013. Driven by mobile gaming industry nearly half the market, digital sales, and increased global engagement. In movies and music combined, the video game industry is widely considered the biggest entertainment industry in the world. No, it's not entirely about money. What I'm saying is these are the games from my childhood made my child. Call of Duty. This is the first ever Call of Duty game, and yeah, I have played it. See, the thing I did, like, I had a low-end device setup. So the thing I did was I couldn't play all the big games at that time. So I played all the first games like three and Call of Duty, all the first Call of Duty. Now, Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia both are developed by Ubisoft. There's a connection between these two games. Like Prince of Persia was a very good, was successful at that time, but Ubisoft was hoping for a bigger breakthrough, and they were developing another Prince of Persia game. They tried to introduce another, and he is an assassin. He's an assassin. I'm telling about the Prince of Persia game, and he's also an assassin. Is another playable character, and from that development, from the developers find that this character can, and they also find it interesting. They also introduce more mechanics like such as parkour, and voila, we got Assassin's Creed. Yeah, from the development of Prince of Persia, they have made Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed was not an original idea. It was another playable character in Prince of Persia. Then at that time, the two things happened. Prince of Persia, they dropped Prince of Persia and the rise of Assassin's Creed. Now, as you can see, there's an animation on the left side. Let's do this. See, this is a wild robot. It's a very good picture, and this is now Avatar, Fire and Ash, the third movie. This Charlie Puth, and this Nolan. And now the pictures I put here just to show you that gaming industry, we need animations, we need animators, and we also need VFX artists, and we also need music, and we also need art and direction. Yeah, it includes everything. Like my point is, everyone have a place in game development industry. Like everyone, if you're an artist, if you're a animator, if you're a VFX artist, if you're sorry about that, music composer, or you like films, you like to create films, art direction. Everyone have a certain place in game development industry. So that's one of the things that I like about this industry. From game development, I can experience all these things, all these field. So that's the point. And moving on, assume that you guys have got the answer for why game development. Now, move on to the next question. How can we build a game? Okay. Godot, Unity, Unreal. These are the main uh, softwares platforms or softwares that you can use to create a game. Godot, we mainly use Godot for 2D, and also 3D games can build. Unity, we can use any kind of games, 2D, 3D, AAA, AA, everything. Unreal, we use mostly, developers use Unreal for AAA games, and it is very complex. And Godot uses GD script, its own programming language, and also C Hash and C++ can be used in Godot by additional. Yeah, you can use C Hash and C++ in Godot. Now, Unity uses C Hash or C Sharp, and Unreal uses C++. Now, there was a question for why Unity, why not Unreal? The answer is simple. As a beginner myself, and if you are a beginner, you should start with Unity. And or you can also start with Godot, but I prefer Unity over Godot. Unity, you can build 2D, 3D, every game, any kind of games. And also Unity is very beginner friendly. Now, when I say beginner friendly, don't expect that much. You will find Unity a little complex, but if you saw Unreal platform, you will say that Unity is much more simple. Like all these platforms, all these softwares have common things. Like there are if you are familiar with Unity and you are good at Unity, you can simply uh, move from jump from Unity to Unreal, and you can easily study and learn Unreal in a week, in a time of weeks, or in 1 week or two. And also Godot. Like the thing is, you just have to understand all the components, all the settings and everything. Like everything has a basic thing, everything has a base. So you can easily study all that in Unity. And if you go to Unreal, there will be much more complex things, and there will be much more options and the settings and everything. So it will be so we don't actually need that. And the thing about AAA games, see, AAA games are built by a very huge group, about 2000 or more than 2000 developers. And also the thing is, nowadays indie games are becoming popular. Indie games means independent games that are developed by small groups. That's the meaning. And it is getting so much popularity now. So I'll talk about that later. So my point is, you don't have to see, as I already said, the main thing about a game is about the user experience. If the player find it interesting and engaging, that's it. It doesn't matter if it have huge graphics or mechanics or anything. Like the player, so you should always try to see what the player want, or how can you transfer your vision into a game, and how can a person can find it playable and find it interesting. And yeah, it is an entertainment field, of course. So that's your answer there. You can, if you are a beginner, start with Unity or Godot. And if you are familiar with Unity and Godot, you can start with Unreal. Now, as I said, indie games. This is an indie game called Hollow Knight. Now, Hollow Knight was developed by Team Cherry, which includes three people. Yeah, three people developed this game, and they have sold over 15 million copies, generating substantial revenue, potentially up $100 million. See that? $100 million. Even some AAA games didn't able to make that much money. So the Steam Cherry. So there was another question. Why are we playing retro games, or what is the use of retro games now, or which retro games should I play, or should I consider playing now? You should be aware of all the retro games. See, another thing about the game developing industry, that games create new genres. Yeah, you heard me right. Games can create new genre. Yeah, this game is a Metrovania game. And what is a Metroidvania game? Basically, this is the game called Metroid. Metroid is a 1986 game, and this is a game called Castlevania. So both are retro games at that same time. And these two games combined created a new genre called Metroidvania games. Basically, it means a game where it more focuses on exploration, and there'll be more non-linear storyline, and the player. I played Hollow Knight. There'll be no instructions or no such things. You have given you are in a whole world, a very open world, and you have to find out new things. You have to talk to NPCs, and you have to create your own ideas and what to do, where to go. There's no such things. There's no direction at all, and that makes the game much more interesting. And if you are a game developer, if you want to be a game developer, you should also play Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is now treated as a game that should be played by game developers. So moving on. I think as of now, you guys have a rough idea about what is game development and why is game development and how can we build a game. I'll talk about that, and we are doing a session on how to set up Unity and VS Code, and what is the scope of game development. If you are listening so far and you have an understanding of both of these three questions, and you will be now knowing what is the scope of game development. It is a field where everything is connected. Like there is art, there's direction, there is music, there is everything. Thing you will experience new things if you build a game. Like if you are imagine if you are building a game about a battle royale and you are a marine or a soldier. So if you are building that kind of game, you need to know an exact idea of how a soldier behaves. So you have to go through a soldier, you have to collect experience, or you have to read an article about it. Basically, you have to become a soldier, and you have to watch or reference. So many things are there. I think developing Call of Duty, the developers have gone through so many stages where they talk with soldiers, and they understand how a gun works, the recoil and everything. They have to go there and experience all that in real life. And yeah, so I'm saying what I'm saying is my point is, if you want to be if you are um, building a game, you will find new things, you will find, yeah. And there's ton of games with so many new contents, and there are more releasing next year. Okay, now, and also this is the biggest entertainment history, yeah, entertainment industry. Okay, now, and yeah, that's about it. Now these are the games that won Game of the Year awards previously. Elden Ring, It Takes Two, Last of I didn't include 2025. It is Expedition 33, and it's a wonderful game. You should all play it. And these are some games that has won the award. And yeah, now that's about our first part. Now we move on to PSP and retro games. How you can play PSP and retro games in your mobile. Um, this type, Romspedia. This, yeah, okay. Okay. Here you can see this side. Here you can go to PSP ROMs, and you can see there's so many great games here. See, Assassin's Creed Bloodlines, Naruto, and if you think this is all a basic game, no, it have crazy mechanics. You should also Benton Protector of Earth, oh, one of my favorite game, and Benton Ultimate Alien, oh man, and there's so many tons of games here. And how you can play this? First, let me just connect my phone. Now you can see from App Store or Play Store, you can download this application PPSSP, and okay, open it. Now here, this is the window, and here you can see load. Now load, and you can see here God of War, Naruto Shippuden. You can download from the Romspedia, and the select the download file here. Now I have selected God of War, and it is now loading God of War. And the audio. Okay, you can see. I'm not going to show that as a great game, actually. I mean, it's all PSP games. Anyway, now here Spider-Man 3, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City Stories. And it's not Vice City, it is the Vice City Stories, which is built specifically for PSP. These all games are built specifically for PSP. And ton of games I'm saying. If you haven't played Super Mario, the first OG one, you should please play it. And Legend of Zelda is another legendary game. And what else? Donkey Kong, first Spider-Man, first ever Spider-Man game. It's not the first ever first game based on the movie. Yeah, and tons of games here. And that's about that session. Now we are going to the last session where I show you how to set up Unity and VS Code. Now, yeah, just type VS Code download, and most of you, I think, will know how to download. Just download according to your PC, if it's Windows or Mac or Linux you're using, just download it and install it, VS Code. And after that, Unity download. You can download Unity here. If you're using Mac or Windows or Linux, like download your version, download the Unity Hub. This is the Unity Hub. First, you have to sign up and log in, and after that login, this is the window that you'll see, and you have to go to the installs window, and from here you should select install editor. Just put and as you can see, I have installed the latest version of Unity 6.3, and you should install the recommended version. And it holds about 10 or 8 GB something. Now, after that, you go to press. Also, you can see there's a learn window. Here, Unity offers so many beginner project tutorial, beginner course free. You can also check that. Now, you have to go, and I'm going to create a new project. Okay. Now you can see, first select the version of your editor, and you can see this 2D, 3D, high definition 3D. High definition 3D is for AAA games, and there are much more you can see here. Much more VR, AR, and there will be mobile, and so many other things are there. We don't want that. We just I'm going to make a 3D basic 3D model, 3D game. Okay. Now I have to name the project. I'm gonna name what I'm gonna name. I'm gonna name what one or no Boxy. Yeah, I'll call it Boxy. No, I already named Boxy. Boxy 2. Yeah. Forgive me for my poor naming. Anyway, now create object. Also, when you install the editor, you have to see. You can see there are so many options here. You just have to install whichever options you want. If you are building, let's say, an Android build support game, you should select that. Or else an iOS, you should. And you're just building a 2D, 3D game, then don't select all those. And especially if you're a beginner, and you can also download all this later on. So I suggest you to deselect all that and install. Okay. Now let's create our new project, and I selected 3D. Now project proxy 2, select, and use Unity version control, create a project. This may take some time. Now, Unity engine. The one important thing about game development, you need patience, bro. Patience, yeah. Like, if you have no interest in game development, it can be a very tedious work. you'll find it very tedious. But if you have very interested and passionate, we have a passion for it, and it will not be that much of a problem for you. But don't force you into this. I'm just saying. Now we have created our first. This is the first layout. I'm just gonna maximize this. Now you can see we have so many things, right? Yeah, like I said, beginner friendly. Now here is the hierarchy. Now, what is hierarchy? I can simply say that it holds some game objects. Now, what are game objects? I'll talk about that later. Now, here is a scene window and also a game window. I don't want the game window now. I'll just drag it and put it. Okay. Now, here's the inspector. Now, here we have projects and a console window. Now, first, okay. Now, this is the main camera. Now, if you right click on your mouse and use WASD for movement, you can easily move around like this. And for moving upward and downward, you can use Q and E. Q and E. Okay, you can see I'm moving. Now, what is this camera doing here? This camera is the that what the player see. See, the player will see through this camera. What this camera see, the player will see. And what is this directional light? It basically gives the light. Yeah, exactly the name is. And the global volume, we'll talk about global volume in upcoming sessions. As of now, you don't want to mess with these things. These are the main game objects that already in here, and you don't want to mess with these. Just leave it as it is. And we are now going to create a new game object. Yes, we're going to create a new game object, a 3D object. I'm going to now right click on the hierarchy and 3D objects. You can create a cube. Now name the cube. I'm going to name the cube Boxy. Boxy. Yeah. Now here is our cube. You can see we have a cute little cube. Now you can see I selected the cube, and if I there are some short keys. W for the movement, the vertical and horizontal, all kind of movements, and E for rotation. You can rotate. You can also select that. I think here. Here you can select how to move. See, for rotation. And you can see in the inspector window, you can give it values. 0 and X will be 0 and Z will be 0. Now, and also R for resizing. I'm hoping it's visible. R for resizing. Okay. So R for resizing, and you can oh, I don't want that. It's just Command C or Control Z for undoing, and that's the basic thing. You can move, you can resize, you can rotate. Okay. Now, what I want? Now I want. Okay. Now in the asset, you can see here assets. There are some scene settings tutorial. I'm not going to talk about anything now. Now I'm going to create a new folder. Now right click and create a folder called scripts. Scripts, where I save my scripts. Okay. Now here I'm going to create a script. Now there are two ways of creating script. You can create like mono behavior script, or here in the scripting section, you can create an empty C# script. I prefer mono behavior script, and I will show you what is the difference between those two. First of all, scripting. If I click empty C sharp script, I'm gonna call it one, and if I open it, okay. Wait, before that, before that, hmm, before that, you have to make sure that Unity knows that it has to use VS Code for the scripting. And yeah, so for that, you can go to, if you are using Windows, there will be an option called preferences here. Unfortunately, I'm using Mac, so I have no options there. So you can also you can use the search bar. I prefer search bar. Like you can search anything as fast, so fast, and you just have to type external tools. As you can see, preferences, external tools. Okay, where is that external tools? Now, here you can see external script editor is a Visual Studio Code. Make sure that it is selected Visual Studio Code. Now Unity know it has to use uh, Visual Studio Code. Now, okay. Now what is this? Okay, this is the script. There's a public class one Unity engine. Okay, leave it, leave it. And now I'm gonna create a mono behavior script. Mono behavior script called, oh, what should I name it? I'm gonna call script. Sorry, script. Now, okay, okay. Here's the script. See, this is the basic C sharp script, and this is the mono behavior script. In mono behavior script, we have a public class script called mono behavior, and we have two functions. So we mostly use mono behavior script in Unity. So these functions, you can see two functions here. And what does this do? Basically the name, void start. Okay, start is called once before the first execution of update. Like basically, if you try to play, oh, I have not introduced the play and pause. Okay. Anyway, if you start the game and you put some kind of commands here inside start, it will execute once, only once throughout the game. And update, it constantly updates it once per frame. If you want to move something once per frame, you should put it inside update. So that's it. Just start and update. And also before that, in VS Code, you have to install some extensions such as this. You should install this C sharp, this extension, and also this C sharp dev kit. And most importantly, you have to install this Unity code snippets. Don't worry, this video will be recorded, and if you can always check the recorded video once it uploads in YouTube. Now, and also install the Unity, okay, Unity extension, and yeah, I think that would do just fine. Now, anyway, here I'm gonna delete this script. I don't want that. Thank you. And we have our first ever script. Let's just wait. Okay, first ever script. Now, the script contains nothing, just have two functions. Now, here you can see this is the play button. Okay, now we are seeing through the camera. This is what the players see. Now we're gonna pause it. Now this is what the developer see, and the developer see, and this you can adjust the camera. And I'm going to drag this here so I can see both simultaneously. Now, if I want, I can adjust the camera. I'm gonna just a little, and I'm gonna okay, and I can also rotate the camera. Okay, no, not that much. Oh shit. Okay, and just okay. Oh, what is okay? Okay. Whenever I press play, there is some things loading. You can see some. We don't want that. We don't want to. We need a constant. See, we have to, when we press play, we have to start the game, right? We don't want this thing holding, like we don't want that. So for that, you just have to go to edit project settings, and from there you can go to editor, editor, and editor. You can go here. This is enter play mode settings, reload domain and scene. Just do not put it to do not reload domain or scene. That will do just fine. Now, if I start play here, see, no such things. Okay, fine. Now I'm gonna as I said, the script is empty. Now inside the start script, I'm gonna this put something transform. Okay, note it. Transform dot translate, translate, and x y z. I'm just putting that. Show it. So this transform is a class, and dot is this is the dot operator, and this is translate. So what basically what it does that, as you can see here, player, these are some components in player, like we got transform, cube, mesh renderer, box collider, and you can see that. Okay, now we are telling Unity to go to transform. Transform, in transform we have to go to translate. That's why we use dot product. What we want to translate to certain x position or y position as we decide. So we are telling Unity to transform, go to the so first of all, this I have not assigned. Okay. So first of all, I have not assigned the script with the box. So now it does not know like what to do. So you can assign in two ways. You can just simply drag this and drop there. Now as you can see, there is a new component added called script. Or you can just go select the boxy, our player, and add component, and you can just type script, and yeah, you can now see script. See, now I have assigned. Now I'm telling the Unity to go to the player. We have assigned the script to player. So go to the player's transform, and in transform to translate. Now we can give x, y, z values. I'm gonna give 2, 0, 0. Okay. Now let's see what happens, and also save it. Okay, I've saved it. Now let's just see what is happening. Okay, when I try to play it, okay. Oh, see that? It moves it moves 2% on the right. Okay. Oh, it moves. It is moving. Wow. Just like that, you can move. You can, if you want to move Y position. Okay. Oh, I have not saved. Save it. Now, okay. Now, oh, see, it moves upwards. See, in Unity, this is the main. This is also a main point. Let's just now see in Unity, as you can see, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis and this is the z-axis. So y-axis goes to this space, goes to upwards. Okay, just remember that. Now, as you can see, it moves upwards. Wow. Now we don't want that. I just need to move sideways. So I'm just gonna give 2 here. Oh, it is moving upwards. Why? Because I have not saved it. So please make sure that you have saved your script before closing it. And yeah, fine. Now, if I want to move 5 units right side, I have to go to the VS Code and change the 2 to 5, then save it and come back. Now, yeah, it moves 5 position. You can also see in the inspector window, it moves 5 position. Okay, see, I don't want that. I want to change within the Unity. So for that, we use another function called serialize build. And for that, we need to use this thing, these brackets. What are they called? I don't know. Anyway, these things and serialize field. As you can see, and after that, and I'm gonna type what? I'm gonna type x value. X value. What is x value? X value is just x value. Yeah, x capital value. See, sorry. Okay. X value and assign that to 1. Okay, some error showing, right? This is a variable. If you are not familiar with any other coding language, no problem. I can tell you variable. Like variable, yeah, as the name itself is a variable. It can we can assign certain values to variable, but because before that we have to declare variable. We have to declare what kind of variable. Uh, so we're gonna use float. Now there is no error. Float is a type of variable where you can use decimal values, and not just decimal. It contains a certain level of precision. I'm not going to explain all that now. You can find that out yourself. A challenge for you. So in C sharp, if you are giving a float value, you have to specify like this, 1f. You have to give 1f here. And here, I'm going to give it x capital value. Now, x value, like I have given x value. Now, let me just explain what is x value. Like, x value, like this type of naming is called camel case. Here is just simply means x. Sorry about that. X value like this. See, a space. So we cannot declare variable or name a variable with space. So we use this method, this camel case method, to avoid that. So whenever you see a capital letter, just remember that that's a new word. Okay, now that's that. And we're gonna save this, and we're gonna come here. Okay, now what change has been made? There you have it. We have now a new thing called x value. Yeah, see, as you can see, I'm not sure if you are able to see, x capital X space capital B A L U E. I have put here small x and capital V, but the Unity has changed it to capital X space value. See, that's the thing. In C hash, we use camel case. Like, don't you worry about that. Okay, now I can simply change the X value from here. If I want to change to 3, I can give it 3. And never give F here. We don't want F here. See, here I initialize the X value as 1f, and variable can be changed. So I can change here and never give f here. Remember that. Just if you are giving 4, it will automatically convert it into float value, and it will assign a 4. Now, if I put it moves 4, so you see, it moves 4 units. Now, if I put 10, oh, where is it? We cannot see that because it is moved so far that even the camera can't see. Okay, so the player can't see. We don't want that. Okay, now I want to move it forward. Like okay, I want to move it forward. So what I do is I'm gonna give another. I'm gonna give y value. I want to change y value. See, there's an error because I haven't declared or initialized that. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it, and I'm gonna y value. See, now we have y value. Oh, I have to save this. So Control S or Command S to save. And yeah, now what happens? Okay, where is that? Okay, because I have given here extend now give both 1. As you can see, I wanted it to move forward, but it's not moving forward. It is it? No, because see, that's the thing. That's the point that I said. This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis, and this is the z-axis. So if you want to move forward, you have to change uh, z value, not y value. Okay, so I'm gonna give z value. I'm gonna repeat the same process and copy, paste it. Now you can see set value. Now oh, save it, and there you have it. Oh, no wonder 0. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put the game window here and make adjustments here. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. So when I press play, it moves like this direction because I have given x and y value. Now, if I remove x value and if I put 0 in x value, oh, it is moving forward now. So if I want to move this game object, our player, forward continuously, what should I do? Simple. Instead of giving this to start, we just have to give it inside update, just like that. See, that easy. So start means only execute only once, update continuously updates. Let's see if it does that. Now, oh, bye bye. Okay, see, it continuously going forward, but it is going way fast, is it? Now, you can also, if I'm gonna put the Z value 0.001. Now, as you can see, it is moving very slowly. And see, okay. Now, okay. See, press to play. Wait. Before that, I need to show you something. I'm gonna put this. Wait. I'm gonna put okay. Now, as you can see, it is moving way faster. Now, I'm changing the input. Like, see, I'm manually changing in the script, like the speed and the direction. If I give it a negative value, it comes back to us. If I give a positive value, it goes away. Now I'm gonna give a negative value. Okay, there's that. See, this is the basic idea of how to give input. Now, if imagine if I want to, I'm going to give input of forward or backward, and it should move accordingly, right? So that's the thing. Oh, it's already 8:26. I'm going to tell you all that, and we're gonna wind this session. Now, imagine if I want to move it accordingly, like my input. Okay, so for that we are introducing a new thing. We're gonna no, we don't. Let's just forget serialized field now, and I'm gonna assign the float x value. And okay, there is a new class. These are called class, and we're gonna use dot uh, operator. And inside input, we need to get the axis, get axis, get axis. Now, an important thing that we need to move it. I'm gonna type vertically here, capital V vertically. Make sure that you are typing this. The spelling should be exactly like this, or else your code won't work and it won't show a error. Your code won't simply work. And put this inside the update. Why? Because we are constantly moving it. And okay, vertically is assigned to x value. We don't want to assign that to x value because x is horizontally. X is horizontal. So oh, I type vertically horizontal, just horizontal. Okay, I think the spelling is correct. If not, it won't work. Now I'm gonna type. I type float x value input dot get axis horizontal. Basically, the VS Code, the Unity is telling that to get the input. Now the horizontal input are W and S, and also the forward and backward arrow. Now before that, you need to change a setting. You have to go to edit and go to properties. No, this edit project settings and go to the player, that is the player, okay, player, and here scroll down and don't worry about all these things. Even I don't know anything. I don't know most of the things. Like you'll eventually, by time, you will eventually learn everything. And the funny thing is, we don't actually need everything. So, oversight, uh, yeah, here, active input handling. This should be alt or both. I'm gonna use both. Now the Unity editor restart required, supply and save it. Now going to restart it. Wait a couple of seconds. Now it is restarting. Mhm. Okay. Now we're in. Okay. Now as you can see, I have given float x value input dot get axis horizontal. And what does that do? Let's just save this. And okay. Oh wait. Before that, I need to make the boxy, and I don't want this to move. To make it 0. Okay. Oh, nothing happens. It input dot x axis and x value transfer. Okay, x value has given horizontal. The spelling, I think the spelling is correct, and mm, that's about it. Okay, okay. Oh, we have we haven't given the speed. How much speed it should move. So we need to assign that also. So I'm gonna name a new variable called move speed. Here I have used move speed. You can uh, call it speed or anything, just move speed. And I need to declare that variable also. I'm gonna do float move speed and give a value of 1 up maybe. Okay, now what happens? Hmm. Horizon. Okay. Hmm. Oh, oh, there you have it. See, it is moving according to my input. If I giving D and it is moving according to my input, but it's very fast. You see that? Okay. So that's how, like, we're gonna multiply with the variable called move speed, and we have declared the variable, and this is the function input.getAxis, and the spelling should be exactly as it is, and you will be able to perform this. Yeah, but it's very fast, isn't it? And I'll tell how to make it slow, or how to make it it is not frame rate independent. If I do the same thing on a similar another computer, it will be very fast or it will be very slow. So it is moving according to the computer preference, computer frame rate. So okay, now we don't want that, and I'll talk about how to change that on upcoming sessions. And I'm going to do the same process, and now I'm going to do vertical, vertical, and z value. Okay, now why I assigned z value? Because in Unity, vertical motion means this motion, this motion. This is called as vertical and this is horizontal, not this. Okay, not this. This is vertical and this is horizontal. Now I save this, and if I start playing, wait, okay, now, oh, oh, oh. Now I can play, I can see, now let me just, this is the game window, this is what the players see. Okay, now you can see this is moving according to my input. Okay, but it's very fast, as I said. I'll show how to reduce the speed, and also on upcoming session we'll do how to basic platform and some obstacles maybe, and how to uh, this camera is now in stable, right? It is not moving, right? We can use the camera to move with the player, like in games, and so many other things are there. Now this is how your basic input system input, how now I can move this. Yeah, see that? Okay, now that's that, and I think I'm not lagging. I'm going to wind up now. And this, I hope we all enjoyed it, and this is the basic setup, how to set up Unity and VS Code, and this is the basic, very basic thing about game, about how to get the input from a player and how to move it, how it moves. Like it's very speed actually. I mean, I'm giving the input very slowly, so that's why it's actually very speed, and we can control the speed. And if you think we can just put the speed lower value, no, you know, it's called something else. It's called time.delta time, another function. I'll talk about it later. I'll talk about it on the next session. Now, okay, now we're gonna wind up this session. And that's sad. I hope you all enjoyed this session, and I hope all of you have a rough idea about game development and how you can build a game. And I think I answered most questions in the Q&A session. And I hope this session really helps you. And if you have any more doubts or anything, here our Discord link. Join this Discord, and we'll talk there. And yeah, thank you all.